Hi everybody, I'm Linus Chow and I'm the Master BPM Champion for Oracle. I'm here today to talk to you about our new Process Cloud service, which is here to rapidly automate and manage process applications, of course, in the cloud. I always have to give this disclaimer at Oracle because, again, we will also talk about our vision and strategy throughout this, and that, of course, is something that we have to have a disclaimer about. So that is this slide. So we look at BPM, and obviously a lot of you are practitioners, if not involved in division setting areas, but the benefits, of course, go across just not only modeling, but automation, and as well as continuous improvement. And of course, in this world, we talk about the digital business challenge, the Internet of Things and the Internet of Customers affecting BPM. So reshaping value and economics, having lots of high expectations for customers, and the need for business IT to work together. And of course, in the process sense, being able to bring together disconnected customer experiences, to be able to address the time to market and time to value. And of course, the end result is efficiency, effectiveness, being able to handle that. And we look at BPM in the cloud. Oracle obviously is looking at that and seeing being able to have improved performance and costs, improve agility and lifecycle, and of course always better visibility and control into your operations. And with the Oracle Cloud, of course, we are a vendor that has lots of different capabilities. We do see an end user view as well as a developer view, and what we believe is that we can bring this all together to meet the needs. So as a cloud service, you can see our main goal is to make this fast and easy. Time to value, speed, agility, make work more productive for the organization, have a high visibility and agility, self-service, etc. And with that, we are extending our software as a service with the Process Cloud, so we have approvals, we have tailor to fit and custom applications, as well as cross-pillar workflows to do that. And we do have, of course, this launched with a partner program approval, and this is the example here where we do have partners and have gone to this to sign up for access to the developer interface. And to do that, we have looked at our stakeholders in the organizations that we cater to. And obviously, there are end users, there are power user designers, and they have different needs in the organization. And when we're looking at addressing these things, that's how we've, of course, built our technology. So for Composer, this is what we deem as the web-based application composition, be able to drive the process in modeling in BPMN, as well as to make the user experience nicely, as well as being able to make, model, and manage rules all through the web, as well as a full lifecycle management, which not only means simulation, but also actual emulation, which is the whole test harness in real time. And then, of course, productive work management once it is ready to deploy, to put into production, of course, in a very scalable platform, our WebLogic. And then that has a workspace, has mobile app interfaces, as well as disconnected device capability. And then, of course, being able to have the ability to see and have visualization of, with business analytics, as well as the ability to change processes on the fly. And then, of course, with self-service, being able to have alerts and guided navigation paths for problem resolution, as well as you can see the actual runtime processes, all again in that environment based on your stakeholder needs. And at the end of the day, it's also about integrating and extending both our applications and other applications, whether it be on-premise or in the cloud. So integrated cloud service, bringing together, of course, our capabilities as well as other legacy systems. And then with that, the summary is Process Cloud benefits, quick up ramp time, rapid development, build for change, be able to mash up different applications, and then that's where I'm going to get into the demonstration of the product. Okay, so actually I have a live environment, but I'm going to go through this as the quickest way. So you can see here, if you can see the screen here, if you, mouse doesn't work. You log in, you can see here that you can see the Process Cloud service. And if you have permission, of course, to, as James Cooper, to actually start an application, you have, example quote request application. You would have the form as an end user that you would fill out. Again, I'm just demoing this, so it's pre-filled out. This is the ability to have, multiple items, multiple tabs. Again, all developed through the web as well. So everything is web-based from design to actual execution, which you're seeing. And then, when you go through all of these things, obviously, it can look up existing, databases as well to be able to pull in that information and validate that information, and of course, go through that entire process, as well as select and attach, documents, attachments that are part of what you would have to in a submission of this nature. And of course, all throughout that, you should be able to track that process. So if that process was submitted, which it was, you can see that it had actually started and it actually flows through the process. And this is not the definition. This is actually a runtime instance. So you can see, it's a little hard here, but it is highlighting green the path it has taken. It's gone through a gateway. It's actually in the business practices review. And you can, of course, monitor this every single step. In addition, of course, there's always, mobile device in this world. A lot of organizations have people on the road, whether you're connected or disconnected. Obviously, this is a connected version. And as Jay Stein, again, based on the profile of that device, you can have access to work on those tasks. And you would have the task, and you can select the details. This is your work list, and go through and actually open up the form and see it. You can add comments. You can actually do, of course, reassignments, suspension, escalation, all the general things that you would normally expect to actually work on, as well as seeing all the attachments. And you can see here, if you reassign a task, this is of course integrated with the organizational structure based on rules. Who gets you can reassign to the permission structure. Select that and go through that process. And you can also do approvals as well. All again. Through this interface. And then there are, of course, other interfaces. Obviously, looking at the profile of, instead of a tablet, you have a phone mobile device. There's a smaller screen size, so you have to be able to also do this, swipe capability, having statuses, assignees, and these different things. And then, being able to also go through, editing the forms, but in a different profile here because it's a smaller screen, adding comments and attachments, even taking photos, like, doing expenses here, and I go take my expense photo, I'm going to have to attach that and go on that way. And then you can also, of course, have to be able to do search. You have to do bulk approvals. What manager wants to approve every single expense report? Well, wait, if you spend too much money, like going to this conference. No, just kidding. But that's the goal there is to be able to do that. And of course, it has to be, secure enough that you can also have an offline type of mode, because, we do have organizations that have disconnected operations sometimes. Actually, I handle public sector, the Defense Department as well. So you have to be able to secure sometimes offline capabilities and then make sure that it gets wiped, or, at a certain point as well. And of course, coming back here, we're logging in as W. Falk. So these are all like authors, by the way. So, Jay Cooper, Jay Stein, F.W. Falk. And then that person actually has additional privilege of seeing more of a dashboard that has alerted tasks, suspended instances, etc. And with that, they can go and drill down and see, the ones that maybe are overdue. So of course, you have deadlines, you have service level agreements, key performance indicators that you have, and you can reassign those and withdraw those. You can look at suspended instances and then actually move those processes to a different activity state as well. And of course, you have like different views to the process health dashboard, whether they're open, recoverable, in progress. And again, there are different ones that you would have. And obviously, you want to have different users that have the permissions to be able to access that. And basically, the last idea here is Jay London, again, another author. And that person can, again, not see those different capabilities, but actually go in and develop a process. So Jay London has a basically permission to go in and drill down and actually see either a sales quote process or create a new one. And that, sales quote process can be opened. And they can also add forms or message or approval patterns throughout this. And you can see here, this is the process design, not a runtime version, BPMN. And looking at all the different components, again, the palette of capabilities from system, the human tasks, as well as the gateways. And then when you go in and actually edit the form, it also has a form designer. So this is a web-based form designer. You can drag and drop, and that's how you make those capabilities, as well as it uses REST interfaces to actually integrate with existing data sources. It could be remote data sources, of course, securely, or it could be on the cloud, and be able to drag and drop and make those form components, as well as be able to format those, as well as to be able to put the rules and regulations on how those fields are utilized. And then you also do have a test, or you see the running man there, to be able to preview and test just the form. So at every step of the way, it's very agile. You can actually test the form component by itself. You can test it you'll see later, in the process, because there's actually an emulation capability, not just simulation. But you can see that it is working. You see that it is using the REST service to pull in the appropriate California cities that are in there based on that. And then you can also edit, based on your permissions, the rules. So whether it be if-then rules or whether it be a decision matrix. And then, of course, you can actually go into the properties of escalation reminders. You have the timer events as well as escalation events. And then you can also go in and publish it once you are ready to actually publish that process. And then with publication, there's different things you can do. You can keep it in the sandbox, meaning you want to actually iteratively, agilely test your process. So you're not ready to go put it in production or even in test, but you want to play it. So play is not simulation. Play is actually testing what you have done in the process so far. So if you do play that, it will go through the process. It will let you see the forms that are associated with the activities and allow you to go through that. And it'll actually show you the process flow. You see this time is in red. It's a little bit hard to see there, but it highlights the fact that it is going through that. And then there's a play button here by that activity because it's in that activity. And as the designer, you can then go in and look at that. Now, when you're ready to actually put it into an actual functional test, test environment, you can deploy to that test environment, again, all in the cloud. And you can also see that you can undeploy and shut down other processes that are in there. And if you want to actually publish it and move it to a production environment, you just have to put the service location. But when you go through that, obviously, you would have to be able to allow for customization of what you're trying to deploy and a snapshot of that, as well as you'd have to authenticate. So obviously, you can maybe give some of your organization access to testing a product, putting it in a test environment, but putting it into a production environment requires a different authentication model. And then, of course, when you deploy it, that's it, and that's what you saw in the beginning, which is the runtime interface. So that's the demonstration. Oracle's done BPM for a very long time, including other. We've acquired other products and brought them in the fold. We do firmly believe that the cloud is a way to go, as well as hybrid, so on-premise and cloud, because there are some things that, of course, are more private cloud because they have to be secure. But being able to have an option of actually providing a single cloud public interface where you can manage, maintain those processes from more of a business-aligned aspect, I think definitely is the future direction. So that is all from a presentation and demonstration standpoint, and I'm hopefully not going to keep you from drinks because I'm the last presenter. That's right. So questions.